Welcome to the first ever Total War Rome Remastered AI only campaign. Here we are at last, full remastered settings, including the unit rebalance. So that will impact the campaign. Apparently, the AI is meant to be better on the campaign map. Apparently, they can actually cross the water here, because what we had in the original, one power would blob up in the Middle East and Africa, the other in Europe. These two wouldn't really be able to attack each other. The only way they can attack would be up here, and they get bugged up here and it ends up being a complete mess. But apparently, they can now cross the water, so I'm excited to see how that's going to look. Anyway, let's begin. Julii making the first move, putting Segesta under siege, as always. And they got the win. The first settlement has fallen. And it's Macedon, instantly pushing for Athens. Alright, Parthia, the second faction to take territory. Well done, Parthia. The Brutii crossing over, moving now onto Apollonia. And Gaul taking territory too. That feels like it happened much earlier than usual. And same with Frist taking Byzantium. That usually takes a couple more turns. Oh, the Seleucid Empire. Are you sure you want to do this? They lost. Poor Seleucid Empire. Nothing happening in Sicily yet. Yeah, no war so far. The Julii and the Scipii landing outside Cavalis, but before going for Sicily. That's a bit of a weird one. And the first piece of diplomatic info coming through. Everybody going for Carthage. So it begins. The Scipii walking right into Cavalis there. Already taking it. Interesting campaign from the Scipii. Rarely see this, and Britain and Gaul at war. The Brutii moving into Illyria, attacking Salona, and of course they took it quite easily. They're playing different. I can already see this is different. Is it going to be smarter in the long run? That's the important thing. I don't know yet. But early game, it's definitely different. The British dropping off reinforcements. Alright, that's good to see. Alright, Seleucid Empire trying it again, and there they go. They got Palmyra. The Scipii are blockading the Carthaginians. Nothing happening at all in Sicily. That's a weird one. The first alliance coming through Pontus and Parthia. Beautiful. But Gaul moving on to Samabrovia. Alright, Carthage. They've gathered their forces. Are they ready to make the move? Scipii signing an alliance with Gaul. Alright, don't know how that would help them, but okay. Gaul getting boats? Wow. I love how I'm impressed by some of the weirdest stuff here. Like that, you don't see too often. Brutii moving on to Segestica? Usually they don't go this far. Usually Macedon gets that, and the Brutii push for southern Greece. Thrace and Scythia, and the Britons at war with the Germans. Thrace attacking at Crimea. Did they cross water to get here? I think it's possible. I think they did. It's not confirmed yet if they can, but that is a good start. And meanwhile, for the Britons here, it's not looking good. They're holding out for now, but I cannot see it lasting. Yep, there we go. It's under siege. And the Brutii taking another settlement. That's all rebel territories taken. Where will they go now? A big one. The Greeks and the Macedonians. Meanwhile, Rome getting along with the Spanish. For some interesting reason. But yeah, this here should be a good one, and the Greek cities already on the move. Athens and Corinth under siege. Thrace getting hit by the Dacians now. Still holding the siege here, but Dacia pushing here. And if Dacia lose, Scythia will swoop in and take it instead. The Gauls pulled back, but the Germans are now here. Carthage at war with Spain, Armenia, Pontus, Egypt and the Seleucid Empire. Is Carthage? Yeah, I think they're still terrible. Rip Carthage. And it's the Seleucid Empire being the ones pushing onto Bostra. Yeah, Scythia putting Thrace under siege. I think they'll actually be able to take Crimea here. That would be good for them. Oh, Germans pulling back, but the Gauls coming in. Those are some pretty big armies. Yeah, apparently the AI now prefers bigger stacks like this, as opposed to like a load of smaller armies dotted around. Which is good, it means they're more likely to take settlements. Yeah, makes the AI slightly stronger. Oh, now the Numidians pushing onto the Carthaginians. Libya under siege, and what awful luck for these guys here. Alright, it's like something from a cartoon, like the Looney Tunes or something. Alright, Macedon holding out so far, pushing on to Thermon now. Alright, Macedon is doing a good job at controlling this. Yeah, a very good job, and Thrace did it. They took Crimea. Good move. Armenia pushing onto Pontus. Can they take their capital? Still nothing happening in Sicily. Nor up here. Gaul pulling back. Right, some things never change then. Yeah, the AI being a little dumb up here. Oh, alright, a ceasefire. So nothing came out of that war. Julii and the Germans. I think the Julii plan to hit Gaul then. Yeah, looks like it. And Macedon taking Thermon. Only Sparta left holding. Alright, there we go, Patavium under siege. And Samobrovia right now. Perfectly okay, surrounded by diplomats for some reason. Pontus did end up holding out, but I don't know how long for. Armenia, they do seem interested. Seleucid Empire and Egypt getting an alliance? Oh no, we don't like to see that. We want to see these two great powers collide. That's where the fun is. Pontus down here in Rhodes. Don't know why. Wait, no way, did that actually happen? There's no way. Looking at the minimap right now, I cannot believe it. Carthage took territory from the Numidians. They took Cirta. This is using the new unit balance. Carthage OP. They're too powerful for this world. Alright, I really hope there's now a more powerful Carthage. I really hope so. Holding out at Corduba too. Oh, Scythia. Taking Campus Getae here from Thrace. Well done, Scythia. The British still holding out. Look at the terrain here. Completely scorched. The Julii took Patavium. Well done, Julii, well done. The Greek cities pushing again for Corinth. Macedon, their armies are too far north. They should have finished them. Yeah, oh well. Hey, there we go. The two are back at war. And Parthia taking Bostra. Ooh, Jerusalem. Heavily under siege. The Seleucid Empire working with their Parthian allies could do this. Yeah, their armies are over here, pushing onto the Numidians. They need to be over here. Still nothing going on in Sicily. Interesting. Seleucid Empire takes Halicarnassus, a very valuable settlement. Carthage getting kicked out of Iberia. The Spanish took Corduba. The Egyptians held out in Jerusalem, but Sidon now under siege. And Armenia taking Sinope. No, poor Pontus. But Thrace looking to try and make the comeback. Oh, and the Greek cities taking Corinth. No. Oh, and the Numidians pushing heavily onto Carthage now. Oh, that being said, looking at it on the map, it seems Pontus took the Armenian capital. Yeah, so really it was just a change in territory. That's interesting. Pontus trying to make the comeback, but Armenia trying to do the same. Yeah, they're both playing very aggressive right now, not caring at all about defence. Frist did take it back, but the Egyptians are crumbling. Sidon and Jerusalem both collapsed. Spain goes to war with Gaul. Yeah, that could be a big one. That has potential, especially if they can sort whatever's going on at Samobrovia out. And Macedon at war with Dacia. The Dacians trying to take Bylazora. Bylazora should hold. They'll be okay. Scythia taking back the Crimea, and Pontus taking back their capital. Armenia down to their final settlement. Are they going to be the first faction to die? And Egypt, it's not looking good at all for them. The Romans going for the Macedonians. Alright, they can hold out against Dacia, but not against Rome. Then again, maybe not even Dacia at this point. How did they get down here? Anyway, the Brutii pushing for Thermon. Oh, Macedon. You almost had it. If you just got the Greeks out here, I think you'd have been in a good spot, but no. You had to lose it all, didn't you? Still nothing happening in Sicily. Nor in Samobrovia. Faction destroyed. Armenia. Pontus did it. I would say that is good revenge for them. Yeah, they lost their capital, but they brought it back. I liked that. Nice little story. And the Julii now pushing onto Mediolanum. The Numidians pushing back in Africa. But I cannot say the same for Egypt. Petra under siege. They're trying it at Bostra, but that's a lot of armies about to pour into Egypt. Petra's gone, the Egyptian army got destroyed, and yeah, the Seleucid Empire is here. Ooh, the Gauls could be about to get pushed out of Iberia. The Spanish might do it. Memphis under siege. And the Brutii did, of course, take Thermon. Macedon, they've got a big army here, but where do they go? Like, when you're attacked on all fronts like this, it does get difficult. I think they're trying to play it defensive now, with their final 3 main settlements. And I guess Bylazora. The Spanish did it. All of Iberia is now theirs. Memphis has fallen. Alexandria under siege. That poor boat. But yeah, Egypt I think is done. And it is likely the Seleucid Empire will become the main power in the Middle East. Unless Parthia and Pontus can work together, but I don't see it happening. Still, nothing happening in Sicily. But the Julii finally pushing out of the Alps towards Massilia. Alright, surely now. Surely. Come on. Take it, Samobrovia. It's ready to fall. Please. Carthage making the comeback. A little bit again, but it might be too late at this point. And Thrace has now jumped onto the Let's Kill Macedon hype train. Dacia did take Bylazora, pushing now onto Thessalonica. Can Dacia take enough territory to actually become powerful? They could do it. They're doing okay so far. Alexandria has fallen. Egypt, yeah, they're not looking good. They should be done any time now. Ooh, Pontus moving heavily into Pergamon. And yep, Dacia took Thessalonica, moving now to Larissa. The Greeks hitting Athens. Macedon, they could be dead in a few turns. And yep, Athens has collapsed, and Macedon down to their final settlement. Is Dacia actually going to do it? The Seleucid Empire took Siwa. Nobody in here though. Interesting. And up here, yeah, the Julii expanding onto Gaul now. Massilia, Luvavum have both fallen. And the Spanish, they're making the move. And still, the Gallic army preoccupied up north with Samobrovia. Alright, are we just stuck on Numidia here? What's going on? Well, I don't think it's crashed. We're just stuck on Numidia. Like, we can move around. Frist in Crete? Wow. But what's happening? They lost the settlement to Carthage. What's happening with them? I've got no idea. Alright. I've loaded back. Hopefully it should continue. But yeah, Frist down here in Crete. Never seen that one before. Alright, there, we got through. Alright, don't know what that was. But good. And Frist has disappeared off the face of the earth. They've got units on a boat, which is very promising. Maybe the AI late game can actually handle the water. The Egyptians took back Memphis, making the comeback, and I think they had Jerusalem for a second too. Don't know how that happened. Maybe the AI is engaging in diplomacy? I don't know, it's a weird one. Ah, Spain taking Narbo Martius. Well done, Spain. Pontus unable to take Pergamon. Larissa now under siege by the Greeks. And faction destroyed. The Greeks took Larissa. Overall, the Greeks are looking kind of okay, but yeah, they're likely to lose Pergamon. And the Seleucid Empire, they take Memphis, moving now onto Thebes. Although that is a big Egyptian army right there. And Scythia, yet again, marching onto the Thracians. So is Dacia too. Dacia has a lot of potential here. If they can pull it together, they could have their best campaign yet. Carthage pushing back the Numidians. Okay, so I think Carthage has been made a little bit stronger. They're still weak overall, but they are now stronger than Numidia. Which I think is how they, not should be, but stronger than Numidia, yes. That I like. Oh no, we're stuck again. No. Why does this keep happening? Alright, luckily, you know, just loading into the last, like, end turn save does help it. I haven't noticed this before. It seems to be only when you play as the rebels. So yeah, that seems okay. Parthia pushing onto Jerusalem and Seleucia, warring with the Seleucid Empire, and they could take territory. Alright, this could be big for Parthia. If they actually take these two settlements, I would say they're having their best game yet. How is Samabrovia still holding? And why has nothing yet happened in Sicily? Parthia took Jerusalem. They're under siege at Bostrava. Can they take Seleucia? Still undecided. Spain pushing up to Lemons. Gaul could be about to die very soon. They don't have much left. And they are surrounded by enemies on all fronts. They took it, and the Julii took Lugdunum from them. Yeah, poor Gaul. It's all collapsing. Parthia held out at Bostra, and they took Seleucia. Well, that's it then. This is officially, I think, the best campaign Parthia has ever had. I'm calling it. Alright, Carthage taking Demidi, but Numidia pushing and taking Cirta. One thing I'm noticing is the AI just doesn't like surrender as much anymore. Like, even if they start losing territory, they can gain territory elsewhere. That's what I'm starting to notice. We saw that with Pontus. In the original, it's usually only one would gain territory and the other would lose. But there seems to be more of a we both win and we both lose type of theme, which I like. Parthia moving on to Sidon. Of course, Pontus did take Pergamon. Dacia pushing on to Thrace. Thrace could be about to die. But the Romans going for the Greeks, moving on to Larissa. Yeah, they should be able to handle this. Right, a little look at their units. Started there. Alright, it's just a normal general, so yeah. Marian reforms have not yet hit. No, Parthia, don't bother wasting your time with Pontus. Or I think it's Pontus going for them. That could cause their empire to collapse. Ah, the first alliance coming through, Pontus and Parthia.
Beautiful.
If they were working together all in on the Seleucid Empire, they could destroy them, but the moment they turn against each other, that's when it collapses. That's good for the Seleucid Empire, but they haven't taken Thebes yet. Still nothing happening in Sicily. And still Samobrovia holding out quite okay. Dacia took Byzantium, Frist down to their final settlement, and the Brutii took Larissa, moving already onto Athens. Everybody pushing onto Alesia, but I think it is the Germans who have it under siege. Gaul has reinforcements here, but where will they go? They could be dead in just a couple of turns if they don't play it right. And the Brutii did take Athens. But the Seleucid Empire, they've gathered up their forces and are now responding to Parthia. And Parthia about to starve out here. Spain took Redinum here, so just Alesia left for Gaul. And the Germans took it. Faction destroyed. The Gauls. They did it. But now, as what always happens, these powers here are now going to turn on each other. And it seems it's not going to be the barbarians. Yeah, Julii, be careful. That's a little worrying. Something's happening in Sicily. The Scipii moving on to Syracuse. Leaving Messana open though. A little risky there. And somehow, Egypt came back, taking Memphis. I don't know if this is diplomacy or what. I don't know what is going on, but somehow they did it. Maybe it rose up in rebellion, but I doubt it. Parthia taking Sidon, but they're losing territory up here. If they could have just held out and... they could have done so well. And well done Scipii, finally taking Syracuse. Rip Thrace. Dacia finished them. The Seleucid Empire took back Jerusalem, pushing now onto Sidon. I don't see Parthia holding on to it. The Brutii taking Corinth. Will they make the same mistake as Macedon, or will they take Sparta? Please, go for Sparta. Get them out of here. I think the Julii are interested in the Germans. Yeah, that is 3 large armies marching into their territory. Surely, that's their target. Finally the British, they're doing something. Attacking Tava. I bet they'll lose. Julii going for Dacia instead. They can't seriously be going down to Dacia. Really, all the way around there? They're putting a Quincum under siege, but you've got armies right here. Do something with them. Parthia not giving up without a fight though. That's what I mean. In the original, these 2 armies here would not be pushing. They'll be playing defensive, but they're more aggressive, I think. And there we go. Sidon, it fell. But they're still trying. I like the effort. And the British took Tara. Hey, finally. Spain, don't bother. You're not going to be able to take it. They're now at war with the British. And yeah, I think Julii were just passing by, going over to Dacia. They took a Quincum, which is good for them, but surely the Germans would be the better target. And yeah, Parthia getting really pushed back now. I think domination of the Middle East is going to go to the Seleucid Empire, which is not as rare as you think in AI onlys. This does happen. And there they go, they did take Sparta. Well done, Brutii. We can see in the settlement. Principes Hastati, legionary cohorts. The Marian reforms have just hit. Here we go. Reforms time. This is the point where Rome starts to really get moving. And the Brutii pushing onto poor Dacia as well. Thessalonica under siege. But Dacia, big army here. Are they going to take Apollonia? That would be good to see. Now the Scipii piling in. They're not going to do much, but it's the thought that counts. Parthia took Palmia. They're doing really well, Parthia. I like the attempt, but It's not going to be enough. Unless, nah, it won't be. Oh, the Greek city-states must be getting desperate now. They're attacking Crete, heavily outnumbered, and got slaughtered. That's a sign of desperation. Brutii moving on to Bylazora now. Yeah, they're going all out onto Dacia. Yep, see, even the Spanish cannot take Samabrovia. No one can take it. Somehow Egypt taking Memphis back, like, the Seleucid Empire cannot get them out of Africa. They're really struggling with it. I think that's what keeps happening. Yeah, they keep making them a vassal. Maybe they give them territory as a result. Yeah, seeing as further diplomacy has been heavily overhauled, I'm assuming it's something to do with that. Alright, Bylazora fell. Brutii looking pretty good. So are the Julii. And the Scipii? No, never mind, move on. Even the SPQI can handle them. The Julii taking Campus Lazy G's. Dacia down to the final 3 settlements. The Brutii pushing for Byzantium. And their other settlement too. Yeah, trying to cut off the Julii. I like that. And now Scythia jumping in too. Are they going to get anything out of this? Brutii got Byzantium. And they did cut off the Julii too. Dacia down to their final settlement. And the Germans still trying here at Samabrovia. I think this was in like the first minute that I started covering this. And it's still going on. But the Brutii putting Dacia's final settlement under siege. It should fall here. And there we go. Dacia is gone. The Brutii did it. They got a lot of territory out of that. A lot of valuable territory too. Well done, Brutii, and the Julii looking kind of good as well. Oh, it fell! Samabrovia! It finally fell to the Germans. They did it. The British have been kicked out of mainland Europe. It happened. And Parthia got killed up here too. They're still alive down here, but it's not looking too good at this point for Parthia. The Germans and the Spanish broke their alliance. I expect a war between these two anytime now. Oh, the Julii already going in there, going in for the Germans. 3 settlements over here, under siege or about to be. And the British moving in for Trier for some reason, of course. And the Seleucid Empire finally got rid of those Egyptians. Egypt still alive at Cyprus, but the fall of Memphis was a good one for them. They can now concentrate elsewhere. And that's where I think I'm going to end this episode. There's going to be a part 2, a final part, but yeah, I think this is a good place to end part 1. So there's a few big powers around to keep an eye on. The Seleucid Empire, technically Pontus I guess, Brutii and the Julii, and Spain and the Germans, yeah. I'd say those are the main ones. Part 2 will be on Saturday, and in that video I will conclude if I think the AI is smarter. In that episode we should see if they can cross-water late game, or will it be like the old AI, where it gets stuck over here? Who knows? We'll have to find that out on Saturday. And we'll see who wins the Roman Civil War as well. My money is on the Scipii. So yeah, comment down below, let me know what faction you think is going to win. Let me know down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more. But for now, until the next one, tomorrow's video, Mel gone.